So this morning I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about different belay devices. Um, I'm only going to focus on two belay devices, really, two styles, and this is typically what you're going to see at activity centres, running high ropes courses and climbing walls quite a lot. So there are loads of belay devices on the market, but as I said, we're only going to look at sort of two different styles really that are relevant to us. So I'm going to start with um, our traditional sort of belay plate. So I've got two here. I've got a DMM pivot and this is a DMM mantis. So they're both fairly similar. So this one's got our friction grooves at the front. We can run the rope through and it's going to give us a bit more friction. They both come with pictograms, so where to put the rope, where to put the climber, and they've both got this little wire that you're just going to clip into your harness. So I guess the difference with the pivot, this is just another option to show you. This can then be used in guide mode, which again we're not going to look at. You do that more sort of climbing and mountaineering world. So activity centres typically would have some of these in the shed. You might not use them every day, but now as we go into winter, the ropes are going to start to get wet, and depending on the ground covering, it might be wood chip. They'll start to pick up bits of mud and debris, so they're going to run through camming devices. It's going to be a lot stickier for them to run through. You're going to find you're having to take them apart and clean them out. So you might choose to switch to a traditional belay plate. It's just going to be able to deal with the wet and the mud a bit easier. So that's those two devices. Our next two devices are similar. So they are both Petzl rigs. So the Petzl rig sort of taken over from the Gree a little bit. There was a time when every activity centre had a Gree or would use Grees, and this is something that we're seeing more places pick up. So there's two versions here. So this is an older version. So it's got a manual handle. The handle's really ergonomic, so you can get a whole hand on there, and it's really big and chunky, so it makes it easier to use. And we've got different modes. So this is currently in belay mode. And then if I twist the handle, that goes then into lock, and I can twist it to go into store to go away into the shed. But it is a manual handle. You have to do that yourself. There is a pictogram on the side here to tell you which way the tail should come out, the dead rope should come out. And it's really nifty because I can attach this to like a ground anchor at like a high ropes course, and then I can just push this button up here, and then if I manipulate the carabiner out of the way, that cheek will then open. So I can leave it clipped in and then put the rope in and out. And again, there's a pictogram on the inside of where the climber should come out and where your tail should come out that you're going to hold on to. This is our newer rig. So our handle is spring loaded. So if I let go of that now, it's just going to spring back down. Okay, you can already notice some other differences. Our friction plate here is reinforced, so it's not going to wear as easily, and they've actually added a little groove at the front, so the rope can run over the front, the dead rope, or over the friction plate. Different devices. Come on, get down. Good boy. Yeah, so you've got two different options there of what you can do. So our new rig is rated for between 10 and 11.5 mil ropes, whereas the old rig is only rated is 10.5 and 11.5. So they're two different ratings. So you do really need to make sure you look at the manufacturer's instructions, and even on our belay plates as well, they're rated for different size ropes. So you really need to look at the manufacturer's instructions, look at your rope millimeter, and make sure they're compatible with the devices that you're using at your site.